Hi dears, today again I am present and I will discuss further type of sentences, though it's like a type of complex sentences, but there are two clauses and maybe you people have been observing it because these sentences they occur commonly. Just have a look at the examples first. Now you would see here the plane had flown before we reached the airport. John had slept before I made him a call, and Glenda had cooked food before her friend gave her invitation. Now, I won't say that's a unique type of sentences because learners commonly they have been observing it in their life. And as regards we talk about the clauses, here are two clauses in this sentence. The plane had flown, that's the independent clause, and before we reached the airport, it's dependent clause. In the same way, John had slept, that's independent clause, and the next clause that's linked with the conjunction before I made him a call is a dependent clause. In the same way, in the third examples, I'll discuss Glenda had cooked food is an independent clause, and before her friend gave her invitation is a dependent clause. Now, we'll discuss sentences 1, clauses are 2. So, in these two clauses now question arises which type of tense has been used. Clauses are 2, sentences 1, and in each clause separate sentence has been used. I know you common learners can answer this question very well because you people have been observing in your life sentences and tenses, but still for your clarification just we have analysis in the next slide. The plane had flown, had plus third form of verb refers to past perfect tense, and before we reached the station, reached has been underlined and it's in the simple past tense refers to second form of verb. John had slept, had plus third form of verb slept, it refers to past perfect, and before I made him a call, made second form of verb refers to past indefinite or simple past tense. And the third example, Glenda had cooked food before her friend gave her invitation. Now, Glenda had cooked. It's in the past perfect, and before her friend gave her invitation is in the simple past tense. Now, no matter which clause occurs first. For example, in the next clause, in the next slide, you can have a look like same clauses they occur, but conjunction has been changed now. Before we reach the airport, the plane had flown. Still, though conjunction has been changed now and some changes are there. Now conjunction when it occurs in the beginning and when we reach the airport, after airport comma is used. And the plane had flown, it's still in the past perfect. Then in the second example, when I made him a call, John had slept. Conjunction when here it's in the beginning, and again after call you can see change in the punctuation, that's comma has been used and John had slept. So when her friend gave her invitation, after invitation comma is there because of conjunction when in place of instead of before, now when we use conjunction when in the beginning, so comma takes place after this clause. And Glenda had cooked food, this action is still in the past perfect. Now dear listeners, very common logic that I am directly going to discuss in this example is, if two actions in the past, they take place at the same time, the action that is completed first, it's in the past perfect, and the action that's completed later, it's in the simple past tense. I would repeat for your clarification, if two actions in the past, they occur at the same time or parallel, so the action which is completed first, it would be in the past perfect as it's here. The plane had flown, this was first, that's why it's in the past perfect. And before we reach the airport, it's completed later, that's why it's in the simple past. And John had slept before I made him a call. John slept before my reaching. So when I made him a call, before my call he was slept. That's why John had slept, it's in the past perfect, and before I made him call was made later, so it's in the simple past tense. And Blenda had cooked food, that's before her friend gave her invitation. Before invitation she had cooked food, that's why this action has been this action has been written in the past perfect. So the action which is completed first, it's in the past perfect, and the action that's completed later, it's in the simple past tense. That's the logic behind these sentences, and nothing is difficult. Like we have changed, and even same, no matter, even with the help of conjunction when it was changed, but still the action that was completed first, it was in the past perfect, and the action which was completed later, it's in the simple past tense. So okay dear audience, that's enough. So see you later.